Bonjour, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are talking about Les France des Maudits, the latest full-length studio album from the most evil French black metal band, with the most evil black metal band name in all of existence, the one and only Seth. I knew a guy in college named Seth. He was an alright guy. Wasn't really big into black metal, at least as far as I know. I mean, I didn't really know him like that well. I just knew him, Like I went to a couple of classes with him, but he was an alright guy. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. Anyways, this is the 7th full-length studio album from this long-running French black metal crew. I first came to know them back in 2021 with the release of their previous studio album, La Mâchoire du Christ, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I love how it, thematically centered itself around the existence of Notre Dame and everything it stands for, everything it's at least supposed to stand for, and everything that kind of happened around it, including the burning down of Notre Dame in 2019. It made for an album that was dripping with melancholy and melodrama, and obviously just pure, unfiltered rage and power and even beauty. It was an incredibly expressive and immersive and atmospheric record, probably one of the better, kind of black metal records that was released in 2021, in my opinion at least. French black metal in general has always intrigued and fascinated me in a way that Norwegian black metal sometimes doesn't. I love me some Enslaved and Emperor, y'all know that. But I'm not the biggest fan of Dark Throne, Immortal. I'm not a fan of Burzum at all. And I look at some French black metal, and that's where we get Alcest, who gave us Black Gaze and post black metal, Blood Us Nord, who gave us weird Lovecraftian experimental fucking industrial avant-garde black metal. There's just so much good stuff out there. French black metal can sometimes be a lot more flexible, and it can be a lot more expressive and emotive. And even for a more straightforward kind of black metal band like Seth, that remains the case. In fact, this album specifically is motivated and informed by very extreme emotions, and as such, is a very powerful record. It's a record about liberation and rebellion. As a press release proclaims, Les France des Maudits is a declaration of war, a call to arms for the souls still smoldering beneath the veneer of a world too long gripped in the cold hands of a moribund orthodoxy. Les France des Maudits is dripping with the wine of condemned men and the blood of saints, narrating the epic saga of rebellion from the ashes of a fallen Notre Dame. This is not the Paris of light, but of enlightening darkness, where the facades of grandeur crumble to reveal the raw flesh of true humanity, writhing in its eternal struggle against divine oppression. The album is consistently very urgent and important and visceral, and a little bit provocative as a result of all of that as well. You've got the opening cut, Paris dans Malefice, which kicks things off on a pretty triumphant note, some subtle guitar-driven melodicism, subtle strings and orchestral bombast and blustering choral vocals are littered all throughout to give this extra height and weight and size and scale. But at the very forefront, standing under the spotlight, you have towering walls of tremolo riffs and blast beats and screaming, scowling black metal guttural vocals. There are some slower, more scaled-down sections that exist to kind of bridge all this together, and also to create a little bit of build and drama and hype. And once we're just shy of the song's peak and climax, it essentially blossoms. Everything comes into the forefront of the song to create an incredibly passionate and enveloping display of black metal. Then there's Et que vive le diable, which contrasts this momentum with more grim, sinister, dark, and gnarly kind of classic black metal assaults. As the song evolves, though, and goes on, it does introduce more choral vocals and more atmospheric elements and some more strings. Despite that, though, it still feels like a pretty malicious little monster. Then there's Ivre de Sang the Saints, which introduce a few more slow-moving, spacious sections, which definitely creates a lot more drama and tension. The closing number 2, Le Vin d'un Condamné, stands out as probably one of the most varied cuts on the record as well, throwing in a bunch of different kinds of synths and vocal dynamics and tremolo riffs and blast beats and percussive assaults. It has really dark, old-school black metal poundings, howling, chanting vocals, swelling, swooning strings, and its final few moments are mostly dedicated to isolated strings and some really beautiful angelic vocal displays. And then there's Insurrection, which sounds exactly like what you think it is. It is 7.5 minutes of like French black metal hellfire and firepower. Despite that though, the song wisely, in my opinion, officially closes out on some more gentle, delicate, dare I even say, romantic kind of piano keyboard pieces that weave nicely into the aforementioned closing number. I am slightly disappointed by the inclusion of a nearly 3-minute instrumental interlude, Marianne. It just adds nothing to the record and just kind of kills the spirit of this thing for a minute. I guess it operates fine as a brief little palate cleanser, an opportunity for you to get a breath of fresh air, but even so, if I were in charge of this thing, it's probably the first thing I would cut here. In general, I would like to see some more ambitious songwriting here, you know? Like, we got bits and pieces, like all the keyboard and string stuff and choral vocals, that's great, but I'd kind of like to see them, like, expand on that. Like, just fucking go for it. Go full-blown melodic symphonic black metal. I think that would work really well with a lot of what's going on here. And I don't even think you'd have to worry about upsetting the bass, because at the core, I think it would still have that same fire and spirit, you know? But I guess ultimately it's unfair for me to judge the record for what it isn't instead of what it is, because what it is still a very well executed and beautifully produced and emotionally, passionately performed black metal record. I'm feeling a very, very, very enthusiastic 3.5 out of 5 on this bad boy, leaning towards a 4 out of 5 if we're being honest. I highly recommend this. Probably one of the more exciting albums to be coming out in July right now. Like, there really isn't a lot coming out these next few weeks that's like really caught my attention. So for that reason alone, I'm like, you should check this out, because like this is good. This is actually something worth talking about and checking out. Instead of like, I don't know, generic heavy metal supergroup number fucking 50, like fucking Category 7 or Paul Diano's Warhorse or whatever. Like, god fucking damn it. Ugh. I'm getting off topic. Look, the point is, the record's good. If you like Seth, I got a funny feeling you're gonna like this record. If you're looking for something big and theatrical and grandiose from black metal, but like you still simultaneous to that want like a true, authentic black metal experience, boom, this is it. 3.5 out of 5, a very enthusiastic one at that. This is a very good record. Definitely check it out. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I am not an expert, nor do I claim to be. So what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe right here so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.